Hey everybody, welcome back to Movies and That. I'm your host Cody, and today we are going to talk a little bit about my ideas for the Halloween TV series. So it's been about a week since we got the news. We got the update that they're full steam ahead, being Miramax Television and Trancas. They signed a deal and they're fast tracking it, and it's pretty exciting. So that got me thinking. Me being a huge Halloween fan, I mean, that's the whole reason I'm doing this here today, is because of my love with Halloween that I gained in the early 2000s. And I've been thinking this over ever since the announcement came months ago that we were getting something like this. But with the news last week, the past few days, I've been thinking of some ideas, and I wrote some down here. I got about 3 seasons. The first one I was thinking of like 5 1-hour episodes. The second one I got up to 6 1-hour episodes. And then the third season, that's where I hit a little bit of a writer's block. So let me just go through what I have written down here. And that's going to start off with obviously season 1, which with my idea is to pick up directly after Loomis shoots Michael 6 times and pick up from there. So it is completely erasing Halloween 2. We're not going to the hospital. Laurie Strode will not be in this because I think that storyline is just done. Done with. We don't need to do anymore. We just got 3 damn movies of that. Let's leave Laurie alone. Let's start with something fresh. All right, so my idea here is to break this up into kind of 2 episodes here. Again, my first season is going to be 5 episodes. So the 2 episodes I'm thinking of, the first one obviously is going to pick up right after Loomis shoots him. So Michael goes off the balcony. We'll get that flashback of Loomis coming up and looking and Michael's gone. So it's going to kind of be like the same thing with Halloween 2 as it picks up from there. I'm thinking like Loomis running down the stairs, looking around, looking for him, telling a neighbor to call the police, and go from there. So, with that being said, there's going to be this manhunt for Myers. So, I think we should keep Loomis and Brackett together, doing their thing, searching for Michael throughout the town. We'll kind of focus on more of a police type thing and doing a lot of like POV shots with Michael, because I think that was actually something H2 did great, was picking up with Michael, his POV and him walking around. So I think what Michael could do in this, because I think at this point he might realize like Laurie is out of the picture as well, like he's done, and let's just keep going, being just this psycho face of evil he is. If you want to eliminate the sibling storyline, which this is my take here as well, as eliminate that sibling storyline, and just for him to continue to be aimless. So look for someone else that he fixates on, like he did with Laurie and Annie and Linda, and go from there. So him walking from house to house, kind of doing what he was doing in Halloween 2018, which he was just entering random houses and just killing people. I think that's what we should do. But maybe the first episode, it's really focusing on Loomis and Brackett and the police looking for Myers with some POV shots of Myers, maybe making a couple kills or 2, right? Stalking someone, entering the house. But then the second episode is really going to be just all on Michael. Him doing his thing, maybe evading some cops, maybe going up against a couple police officers that are searching for him, him doing his thing and tricking them to come look for him, where he will just sneak up and attack and strike. I think that would be a good way to go with this. So then with that being said, even actually, let me back up here, because even after, because Brackett, of course, is going to find out that Annie was killed. So instead of him like going home and being off for the night and leaving it up to Hunt or the other deputies, he's just going to use that rage that kind of we see in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 with the Brackett and that, where he wants to kill Michael. Like he is just going to go after him. So then I'm thinking the next 2 episodes after that could kind of just really focus on that rage that Brackett has, just wanting to find him so bad. Maybe he's still mad at Loomis. Maybe they get into an argument. We get some things there still. But, he's just really going after him. And, maybe there's not enough here for 5 episodes. I'm kind of looking at this again. Maybe it'd have to be something like 4 1-hour ones. But what I'm thinking mainly the last episode would obviously be a final showdown between Loomis, the cops, and Myers. And where can we do that at? Maybe we do it at the Myers house. Maybe Michael does go back home. Cops are staked out there. He takes them on. Loomis and Brackett show up. There's this ultimate showdown there. Or maybe we do it at some of these locations that have only ever been referenced in lost scripts and things like that, like the Lost River Drive-In. Maybe he goes and attacks that place, and then there's a final showdown there, like I think in the Halloween Returns script. Was it the Halloween Returns script? I think so. Or was it a Halloween Fort? Anyways, but so we just do some sort of final showdown, a big action-packed final episode. Maybe Brackett dies. Loomis puts Michael down, and I'm thinking it would end with Myers going back into a coma and getting sent back to Smith's Grove or somewhere else. So that's my season 1. So now let's talk about season 2. So if we look at Halloween 4, that picks up 10 years later and it's focusing on Jamie Lloyd. Well, since I'm not trying to do the sibling aspect here, and keep this in mind, I do want them to do something with Jamie and Rachel again. I think that would be great. I just think that would have to be something, we'd have to do a little jumping around there. But in my vision here, my season 2, we're still going to jump ahead, except it's not going to be 10 years later. Instead, we're going to do 8 years later in 1986. And we're going to focus on Tommy Doyle and Lindsay Wallace. So we're going to focus on them in their teenage years. So obviously make some episodes where we're getting to know them and catching up with them and focusing on them. Maybe they have a relationship together because of what they survived and they just kind of have that connection and that bond. I think that would be a great idea, actually, is to have them be like boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're sticking together. So have an episode or two to focus on them, their day-to-day, that sort of stuff. But what I was thinking with this season 2, so Myers, he was put back in a coma. So let's say I have him, he got sent back to Smith's Grove, because that's ultimately where he was. That was his court order to be locked up there. So he's still there. He's in a coma. There's nothing they can do with him, obviously. But Loomis finally got approval to get him executed. Send him to federal prison for execution. And then this is kind of where it's going to be a little similar to Halloween 4, where they're going to transfer Myers, but he's not going to make it to the bus. He's not going to make it to the ambulance. They take him out of his room. They put him on that gurney. As soon as he gets outside, that's when he's going to wake up. And there's not going to be too many people around him. So there's only going to be like maybe a couple guards, some nurses, and the transport personnel. So maybe like 6 people total. Myers is going to get up and he is just going to rage on all of them. Kill them, take weapons, whatever it may be, not guns or anything, of course, but use them and how he would use them to kill, steal the bus or whatever, and head on out of there. Loomis, where is he in this situation? This is his patient. He's the one who's getting him executed. Well, I was thinking of maybe doing something like this. He is on his way to Smith's Grove for the transfer. He gets pulled over because he was drinking and driving. He was all nervous and stressed and anxious. He's just hitting the bottle on his way there. He did something to screw up in front of a cop. He gets pulled over. I know it's the 80s, it's a little different time, but they were still giving out DUIs back then. Just not as many. So I think that would be kind of good. So that there's a reason Loomis wasn't there is because he got arrested. And he got in trouble. So he had to miss it. And he finds out after the fact. So the next morning, Loomis is at the station. He hears the calls come through on the radio of the situation. Loomis goes nuts, demands that he gets taken there, and he does. Finds out he's gone, and here we are. Myers is on the loose again. Loomis knows where he's going. He's going back to Haddonfield. So then we focus in with Myers, where how he gets his coveralls, and I guess we'd maybe follow the path of H4 there in a sense, where I guess, I mean, he's got to kill a mechanic in a sense, I guess. That makes sense, right? I mean, that's the coveralls that he wears. So runs up on an auto shop or whatever, dumps the bus or ambulance or whatever he stole, kills the mechanics that are there, gets the coveralls, maybe steals one of their cars or a customer's car or something like that, and hightails it back to Haddonfield. And then we keep on picking up with like Lindsay and Tommy here, and Myers will return to Haddonfield. Maybe his house is still there, it's still abandoned, he'll maybe go back there. But eventually he sees Tommy and Lindsay. He gets fixated on them. So he decides, like, listen, that's my target. I'm getting them too, and whoever else is associated with them. And that's kind of how we would do that. I don't know if I said in season 1, but I think in my season 1 I'd have Brackett be killed by Myers. So in this one, I think we do pick up with Meeker. Meeker still will be here. So that will be the new sheriff, Loomis and Meeker going after Myers on a manhunt for him. We can even enter in the U.S. Marshals or the FBI, get some seasons out of them, because if we do, that just amps it up and maybe gives, Myers more of a body count, puts a little extra filler in some of these episodes, and Myers evades these people, evades Meeker, Loomis, the FBI, the Marshals. If he doesn't evade them, he gets in a confrontation with them, kills whoever it may be. But anyways, maybe we get to a point where like Lindsay and Tommy are at a Halloween party. Myers shows up to that, slaughters people there. Tommy and Lindsay run away. Maybe it comes to a point where Lindsay is the final girl in this, taking on Myers. And eventually something happens where Meeker, Loomis, whoever it may be, gets Myers, takes him down. But what I was thinking here would be something like this. Now, Myers doesn't always have to get captured or fall into a coma. Maybe he can slip out. So this is what I was thinking here, with something like, maybe Lindsay runs over Myers with the car at the end. Like, it's just her and Myers. She manages to get the drop on him with a car or whatever it may be, a police car, runs him over. She gets out of the car, Myers is gone. Season ends right there. I think that'd be a good cliffhanger, and that would leave something open for season 3. And that's kind of where I just ran into a little writer's block, I guess, with season 3. What I was thinking is season 3 would start picking up with a POV shot of Myers right after season 2. So he got up, he managed to escape Lindsay and evade everybody else. People are searching for him, can't find him. Kind of go through like a quick time lapse of them looking for him, a search party, can't find him, they call off the search. And then we pick up a few years later. And I was thinking of bringing this kind of into the 90s. Doing this 5 years later in 1991. Myers, wherever he is, he returns and he does his thing, and that's kind of where I ran into my block. I kind of wasn't sure character-wise whether we'd pick up with Lindsay or Tommy. Loomis obviously would still be in the picture here. So yeah, I'm just not sure of really how to make season 3 continue. Of course, could put more thought into it, but kind of my ideas with this is just keep going each season, progressing of where the film series took it. So we started in the 70s, we went to the 80s, we went to the 90s, we went to the 2000s, to the 2010s. Kind of keep it like that, and eventually if you want to kill Michael, you can, but just don't do that, quick or abrupt or anything, of course. So that's it, guys. I mean, that's really my thoughts here. I'm very excited for this. I mean, I am a huge Halloween fan. So if I have any more ideas with these seasons, maybe I'll put a video here, but that's my general idea. Pick up from the first one, the night he came home, more the night he came home, not following Halloween 2, something different, and then just keep on going from there. So yeah, interested in your thoughts. If you have any ideas for how we could do a season 3 based off of my season 1 and season 2 ideas, let me know in the comments. But like, subscribe, share. Appreciate everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.